Vice President Joe Biden is continuing to prove that he really doesn't want to be president. Now, following a disastrous showing in Iowa, Biden moved to campaigning in New Hampshire, where at a rally, he called a supporter of his, or a potential supporter, a potential voter, a lying dog faced pony soldier. Take a look.
So, how do you explain the performance in Iowa, and why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
It's a good question. Number one, Iowa's a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. It was a little bit confusing in Iowa.
Not only was it a little confusing in Iowa, I have no idea what you are talking about before. What does that have to do with, oh, you ever been to a caucus? Why does that explain how poorly you did in a caucus? What a weird question. But okay, so now the woman here that asked the question is 21-year-old Georgia College student Madison Moore. Now, Madison Moore talked to the Washington Post afterwards and said that, quote, totally irrelevant whether I've been to a caucus or not. Joe Biden has been performing incredibly poorly in this race. His inability to answer a simple question from a nobody college student like me only exacerbates that reality. Oh, man. Look, man, devastating. Absolutely devastating. Look, all of this is just more evidence that Biden seems to have an inability to be able to talk to people who challenge him. Again, there's plenty of video out there of Joe Biden reacting very poorly to people asking him tough questions. In fact, his answer tends to be, for the most part, go vote for somebody else. Well, I got news for you, Joe. I guess they're taking your advice. Even people who say, well, yeah, well, I'll likely vote for you, but then I'm going to ask you a question on the environment. It's a really important issue to me. So, we should maybe do something about it. To which Joe Biden responds, oh, you want to do something about the environment? Go vote for somebody else. Go vote for Trump. Oh, you want immigration reform? Go vote for Trump. I'm not your guy. Go vote for Bernie Sanders. Why? I think I will, thank you. I mean, come on, dude. Really? He is so going to crash and burn in New Hampshire. Now, he's banking on, of course, winning South Carolina. But again, if you lose Iowa, New Hampshire, if you lose everywhere else, well, then you're not going to do very well anywhere else. So what's the point of winning South Carolina? Unless you're there, of course, just to stop Bernie Sanders. Who knows, right? But as far as the dog-faced pony soldier, what is this? Well, now, Madison Moore, she didn't really care about this, right? She wasn't really fazed by it. But what's strange is that in looking up what it's supposed to mean, or even where it comes from, because it sounds like it could be like a reference, right? Well, that even gets more confusing. So now Biden's campaign press secretary, Remy Yamamoto, tweeted that the comment was just a joke. Oh, no, it's a joke, and it comes from a John Wayne movie. And he has said this many times before on the campaign trail. Now, no wonder a lot of people online had no idea what he meant. Because, I mean, nobody's heard of this. If it's a John Wayne, then mainly, and I guess it makes sense when you look at his support, mainly from, older people. But any younger people are going to be like, what? What? What did you just call me? What are you talking about? And hell, maybe even older people are confused because it turns out that it's not actually a quote from any John Wayne movie. Now, this is according to The Guardian. Biden spokespeople said the line comes from a John Wayne film, but it's not clear it does. There's a 1952 Western called Pony Soldier, but it does not star John Wayne, and no one is called a lying dog-faced pony soldier in it. There is reportedly a line in the film in which a chief says the pony soldier speaks with the tongue of the snake that rattles, swings and roundabouts, dogs and rattlesnakes, I suppose. That's actually not the quote, but the quote ends with the snake that rattles. None of that makes any sense. None of it. What is he talking about? Is the pony soldier a liar? I mean, again, if he speaks with the tongue of the snake, with the rattling, no, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, maybe the reference is that you're a liar. And if you look at the context, then maybe that's exactly what he's saying. Oh, you never been to a caucus. You lie. You lie. Well, okay, best case scenario is that he called that young woman a liar. And maybe it was joking, but look, couldn't really tell at that point. The whole thing is super weird. And the whole thing is super cringe. And maybe, even if you're joking, maybe you shouldn't go around saying that your supporters or people that are at your rallies are lying. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.